Hello, welcome to A Perfect Pair on this 4th of July 2009. We have, as you would have seen in the opening shot, some Bering Sea caught king crab. These are king big and also king delicious. And to pair it, I've decided to choose a Chardonnay. This is the Giza Peak Winery Reserve Chardonnay. It's been aged for 4 years. It's a 2005 vintage. It's a little bit more upmarket than I normally choose to go, but it's 4th of July. So we thought if we're going to have something as exorbitant as king crab, we'd also get as good a Chardonnay as I thought we could get. So this is very buttery. Should complement the preparation that Rog is doing, which is an aioli with, is it hazelnut, Rog? Or?
No, I'm making an aioli and some hazelnut butter.
Hazelnut butter. So the butteriness, this is a complementary wine as opposed to a contrasting wine. So I'm looking forward to tasting these. I've never actually had king crab like this before, so it's Crystal's favourite and we're looking forward to trying it. Rog, how are you going to prepare this?
You basically buy them. You can buy them in stores. They're frozen because they have to be fresh at the harbour. When they come out of the water, they've been alive, and then when they're there, they actually get cooked and then frozen. You basically just give them 24 hours to kind of, ooh, it's a scary guy. You give them 24 hours to kind of defrost in your refrigerator, and then they're ready to eat. They're eaten cold. You usually pair it with, you know, a little bit of a butter, not crazy. I also like a kind of an aioli, which is almost like a mayonnaise with garlic, and it really complements the sweetness of the meat.
So you're going to serve the aioli warm, and we kind of dip the meat in?
No, it's going to be cold too.
It's going to be cold. Yeah. All right. Well, looking forward to trying it, Rog, and hopefully this will be a perfect pair.
And will be.
Okay.
So you've heard Jason talking about the great wine and the beautiful king crab legs we're going to have as a appetizer. What I'm making here is I'm melting butter, and melting butter is a tricky thing. So you always have to be worrying about the heat. If you go too hot, the butter gets brown and it gets bitter, and you basically can throw it away. What we're trying to achieve here is we're trying to make a hazelnut butter. So we let it go brown just a tiny little bit, and it starts getting a real nice nutty taste to the butter, which is going to be fantastic with the king crab legs. As another thing, I'm also going to make some aioli. For the aioli, I'm using this kind of a pot with the round bottom. You can also use, I think the word is a mercer, where you would use this kind of tool and then you would crush it. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to crush the garlic, which we have here. We have exclusive extra virgin olive oil out of Spain. We have some salt, and we have lemon, and that's all the ingredients we need for aioli. As a first step, I'm just gonna really cut these garlics. And there's about 3 large cloves of garlic. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them in here. And don't forget your butter, because if you go too hot, you can throw it away, and that's always expensive. Put some salt in it. And now we're gonna do some manual labor here. Okay, I think we, as you can see, we mulled the garlic very nicely. So, as a next step is, and that's why I really like this bowl. It's round underneath, so you can actually work and whisk it very nicely. Got my olive oil here, and slowly but gently, I'm going to whisk in the olive oil, so it gets almost like a consistency of a mayonnaise. But we are, you know, the original recipe talks about no eggs. But if you're not that good in whisking and not that fast, you can always put in like 2 egg whites, the yellow, the yolk. That helps you a lot too. But we're trying, you know, to make the real original recipe, the Spanish aioli, which, you know, we're trying not to use any egg. So you just take a very little, small steps, keep on whisking it, and the consistency and the oil actually gets together very nicely. You already can see.
Well, we can't hear the fireworks yet, or can we?
Yeah.
There were some explosions before. It could have been Roger's electric performance in the kitchen as he put this together. Even though this isn't cooked, I hear it's incredible. Rog, tell us a bit about this.
It is. It's
again, break into it.
King crab legs. As you can see, it's a humongous animal. It's actually scary if you see one alive. Fortunately, you're basically never going to see one because they basically live in the deep waters of the Bering Sea. And don't kill it, Jason. It's an amazing meat. It's one of the biggest meats you can have in regards to crab meats. I think it's better than lobster. And as you can see, this is amazing. Look at that.
Man.
Look at that. Amazingly great. And then what you do is you just take your hands and you dip it in like a little bit of aioli or butter. Both are really good. I like butter and I like aioli. So I do both. Just a little butter here over the top. And then I'm like...
For the viewers at home,
Oh.
this is the little warmed up butter in a thermal bowl. So Rog told me it was going to be paired with butter and the garlic aioli, so we chose a very buttery Chardonnay to go with this. This is a reserve Chardonnay from Gazer Peak. Reserve typically means it's limited case quantity. It's usually from a particular vineyard, a particular patch of ground, as opposed to farmed from various different wineries. This one's been aged for 4 years. It's on oak, 60% American, 40% French, if that makes any difference at all to you. But you can tell by the colour, this is a big Chardonnay, and I think that'll complement the buttery aspects of the dish as well. For those from Australia like me, this is similar, very similar in fact to crayfish, but there's a lot more meat on these guys. These are huge.
Humongous are they.
What did you think of the wine, Rob?
Oh, it's an amazing pairing. It's really good actually. I'm not the most amazing fan of Chardonnays, but that one's really good. It's not too buttery, has a little bit of oakiness, but not too much because sometimes they just go too wild. Really I think it complements extremely well with the fish.
It's almost zero acid, and that'll really help complement the butter.
It's almost like a syrup.
It's beautiful.
It's like very good.
Wow. Gazer Peak Chardonnay 2005. The recipe for making the aioli is on a perfectpair.tv, and we're going to get the girls in and finish these crabs off. These are amazing.
Really good.
Thanks, Rog.
Thank
Perfect
you.
pair, my friend. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.